that Samba da Alegria has been, in some fashion, some form or another, been hit in the streets for the North Country Fair. I feel that community music builds culture in that we all have the opportunity to come together and actively experience each other's time and each other's abilities. And so I feel like it's extremely important for people to choose to come together actively. And so running with the tradition of what it is that we do and why we do it, the model of community music means that there's a place for everybody to participate. And so as an analogy, the community music model has several different functions inside of it working together to make a whole. And I feel like that model directly translates to us in society. Where different people have different skills and different strengths, the more that they can understand how their strength supports the other people in their community, the more actively they can do their job.
I was playing in a private samba group with Jesse for it was like a year and a half ago now maybe that I joined. And then just as a different thing of practice, I started playing with this group just because it's a whole different experience with samba music.
My mother got me introduced into samba, and there's been a lot of mother-daughter and dads, and that's part of the community working together to make it all happen.
Favorite things about this generational aspect of the music itself is that it does pair together 8-year-olds with 80-year-olds. And so they all have an opportunity to see how elders that have been doing this their whole lives, how much joy it brings them. And I think it's really important for elders to see the youth carrying on the tradition, to know that these things that they held on to so importantly are still going to be carried throughout. If a 10-year-old or a teenager is going through some experiences in their life and they can get a different opinion from several members of their community group, this is just a community forum for people to relate to each other.
As you know, it's a music that kind of grabs you and makes you want to wiggle around a little bit, and it's fun. In this particular Samba da Alegria is fun in particular because people can come here without any drum skills at all. Pick up a drum, any drum, play that drum, learn to play that drum for $2 or $3 that they kick in every week. You know, that's an amazing thing for community thing.
The division between drummers and dancers, we're trying to blur that line and really just have all the drummers dance and have all the dancers know how to drum. There's a really unique notion that as people spend time together, they develop slang. They develop different languages together inside of a language. And so whether it's an accent or whether it's terminology, as we spend time together and grow as a community, we've been developing new grooves and new feels and new slang in our drumming and in our dancing and our music. And so it's a really natural fusion of all these feels and styles coming together but being unique to our community.
Samba and the music and the culture from Brazil is that it was kind of a melting pot of a lot of different cultures coming together, and it's still fusing today. It's really fun for me to play with it and fuse my own dance moves in with what I learned from my master teachers.
Just like North America, South America is a blending of a lot of different nationalities and a lot of different cultural traditions. I think it's really important for us to recognize what the music has been, what inspired us about that music, and then to take it where we as artists would want to take it.
Well, it's about the community. It's about enjoying the music, sharing some food, meeting people, going out, and performing for the larger community. Just a good time. Always have fun coming here with my community.
And there's always new people coming. You don't have to have any experience, and the drums are provided. There's all different kinds of percussion instruments. It's not just the big surdo drum that I play. And if I want to play something different, I can play something different too. So it's always changing, and it's just fun.
As far as celebration and procession goes, music at a time was used for mainly celebrations, and it was as a musician, this is when you were called upon, whether it was for a baby's naming ceremony or for a wedding or whether it was a funeral. Whenever people wanted to ceremonially feel like they were part of an event, usually they'd perform the music to it or perform the dance to it or however it was. That was the honor that you as a musician could bring to a scene. So in contemporary music, well, it's really interesting to pay attention to what popular music is and, you know, on a global scale, what gets the most attention versus getting back to the actual application of music. Music in world culture is a very individual thing. Everybody themselves thinks of how they relate to the music, but as a whole, music's really meant to serve a function for us, I think. That's why it's been so influential in so many people's lives and why it's been so explored and expanded upon. So for me, the celebration of music is really just that opportunity for us to present the fact that we're alive. We can make sound, we can share sound, and for me, one of the most beautiful things about this style of music is that it is a group of people cooperating together. Everybody of all different ages, skill levels, preferences, they're still working together for a common goal and a common experience to come together. And I think that that's definitely something to celebrate.
It truly is the universal language, and it's brought the world to me. Just the little bit of dance that I've done with my mom and here in this community, it opened up the entire world. I know in Brazil, samba, especially bachata, the rhythm and dance, started as street dancing. And it was just like a party in the street that would move, it could move anywhere. The first samba parade we did here in Arcata was with the All Species Parade, and that was their route, was to lap around the plaza. And then when we started doing the parade on Saturdays, we just kept the same loop. And we get to move through different areas and different people get to see us parade in our costumes. What I learned about costumes in Brazil is the women would dress up for the boats and they would have to be really fabulous so that people would want to look or engage with them or give them money for the dance when the boats would come in. And so they needed to be as fabulous as possible. I like to fuse a lot of the dance moves with different rhythms. And so we're by no means traditional, especially my dance class.
As far as I'm concerned, costumes are great, they look awesome, you know, the bigger the brighter, but my focus and priority is to make sure that the composition and the choreography are both created together, but at the same time in the performance of it is really just the maintenance of making sure that everything is running as it needs to. We could rehearse this 1,000 times, but once we actually take it to the plaza, it's a whole different experience physically and sonically, like being able to hear all the people. We rehearse in a totally different setup than we perform, and so trying to change that up this year is pretty much what our preference is. I really want to pay respects to the people that have put the time and energy into getting Samba da Alegria to where it is today. And where it is today, 2,000 people come out every North Country Fair just to watch us dance and drum and run around in circles for an hour. And it's just such a wonderful experience that so many people come out to it. So yeah, this year the theme is going to be the 25th anniversary. We're going to be everything silver, right? The silver, the 25th anniversary is the silver year. We're also excited about the arrangement. The composition for this year is going to be a shout out to some of the different composers that have written for Samba da Alegria over the past couple of years.
Celebrating our 25th year, Samba da Alegria, which the parade has evolved into, there are many ways you can participate and join us. We have dance classes Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays. Mondays is with Asia Anderson in Trinidad. Tuesdays is with Maria Vanderhorst at the Bayside Grange, and Fridays is with myself, Andeline Roy, at the Huarang Do Academy in Sunnybray.
And my name's Jesse Jonathan. I teach a Sunday drum class from 12 to 2, and right now it's being held at the D Street Community Center. So all summer long you can find us 12 to 2 on Sundays, getting ready for this year's parade. So over the past 25 years, there have definitely been some community members that have carried this tradition on. David Penalosa, Howie Kaufman, John Lewis, Catherine Hopkins, Ann Human, Deborah Kettleson, Maria Vanderhorst, Desiree Mignardi, Andeline Roy, Sam Camp. So if people want to get a hold of us, they can email humdrumdance@yahoo.com, and that's the quickest and easiest way to find us.